To YouTube, I'm live now, so hopefully the timing of this will actually work out. What's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday. Wednesday is the greatest day of the week, in my opinion. Nah, I'm lying. Wednesday sucks. But, you know, let's pretend Wednesday's great. So I was wondering, we're going to hear any more from the Liver King, or he was going to take a break, maybe stop posting like he said. But no, he's back. And he's explained what's going on with the eye. And I don't know if I believe him, but I'm going to take his word for it at this point and just assume he's telling the truth, because I think there is some evidence. Like, I think there's video evidence, or I'll look, see if I can find that. If there's any evidence, like, was he recording when it happened? But apparently his eye is a beautiful story. It's a story of triumph over the medical establishment. It's not because he was doing massive amounts of drugs and steroids and blew his fucking eyeball out. No. He was working out, and it was a very simple mistake, and he got a bad eye injury. Let's let him explain it himself. First of all, I might even take a vote. Let's start this off with a vote. I never do these. All right, let's wait until it's done before you give your vote, or wait until you've watched enough of it to make up your mind as to whether he's lying or not. So we're going to start a poll. Don't answer it yet. I'm going to start it now, but don't answer the poll yet. You got to watch some of the video first and then make up your mind as to whether he's lying about his eye, okay? Because I do have some doubts. I have some doubts, but as of right now, I'm going to say he's telling the truth. So here's the poll. Is Liver King lying? All right, start poll. All right, remember, don't hit yes or no on it yet, okay? We've got to start the video. Hope everybody's doing good. What's up, everybody? Steve A. Joe Rogan poked it out. I don't know if Joe would be that low and dirty as to go for somebody's eye. I don't think he would need to do that. It would have to be like a life and death situation, I think, before Joe would go for somebody's eye. He'd just kick you in the head. Although him kicking you in the head could lead to your eye popping out, so that's possible. Oh, let's pull this shit up, man. I'm so glad Liver King's back, dude. And he's doing the same thing again, where early in the day he doesn't sound as crazy. Later in the day, he starts sounding crazy again. So that makes me think it's drugs. But according to Liver King, this is not drugs. He's not on drugs. But I think there might be some drugs here. So here's him explaining it. Let me pull up the right. There we go. So here's him with this Santa Cruz Medicinals guy who he's been talking a lot about. I think it's like the only guy that's being nice to him right now. So he really likes him a lot.
An exercise
Remember,
ban
don't
hit an
vote.
eye. You were potentially going
Don't vote until, you've made up your mind. Give it some time, hear him out, and then, you can vote and decide whether he's lying or not.
to lose your eye, and you healed it. And now, is that these? Because there's crazy rumors.
Yeah, it's great because
a worm in his brain with the eye.
So, while we're getting this started, I'm going to go ahead because I'm pretty sure I'm going to lose monetization from playing this clip because of the music in the background. If you want to support the channel and help keep the channel going, this is a fan-funded show, so it needs your support to keep going. You can go into the description and or click the join next to subscribe. In the description, you can also find a link to become a member, or Patreon if you prefer Patreon, or you can send a super chat if you want me to read it on the air. All right, let's get going. And hit the thumbs up. Thanks, guys.
people just say it's drugs.
Yeah, or drugs. There's like scientists do like making like videos. And I'm like, wait, no, as I've talked to people, they're like, no, that's not what happened with his eye.
Oh, bro.
He actually healed his eye with stem cells. It's actually kind of an amazing story. And other people that experience eye injuries could probably use stuff like ways to well and stem cells and learn from that. So yeah.
But the truth is what you said. It wasn't an exercise band hit me in the head. I was doing an exercise where I had it mounted on the walls the first time I ever did this on the door handle. Yeah. I had 2 bands at max tension. This is exciting, bro. No. This is exciting because I have 2 at like max tension. I'm gonna get these rear delts, bro.
Yeah.
All these rear delts, no fuck. Because, and the next thing I know, I wake up on the ground. But as I'm trying to flash back, I kind of remember, but you don't actually remember. But it came, so they came off the door. Both of them did. The door handle came off with it, and both of my heads, both of my heads. So it goes boom, 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 and I guess the band hit me right in the eye. I couldn't see out of either eye though. I wake up on the ground. So what ends up really happening, if you could have seen the video, was I knocked myself out first
I gotta find
here,
this video.
and then I'm not alert, so then I have another concussion in the back, and then brain damage from the fucking band.
Yeah.
Brain damage. So maybe this might be part of what's going on with him. Maybe this exercising accident caused him some brain damage. He just said brain damage.
No protection with the eye, but so I have that too.
Yeah.
And I wake up with the most fucking intense pain I've ever had.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, bro,
Yeah.
oh my God. And I can't see. I can't see. So I guess without, you don't want to hear the whole story, or maybe I'll tell later. It's not that important. That's how this gift happened.
Yeah.
And I can't see out
It's a
of this eye
gift.
very well. It's all of that gift is when you lose that one thing.
Yeah.
The gift really is, holy shit, I wasn't expecting.
And they told you, hey, we're gonna need to remove your eye, and you,
Oh, bro.
you fought back against that, and basically
all these
brought in some of
surgeries,
them. Yeah.
and if we don't do that, you're gonna still need all these surgeries, and then you still have only this chance of seeing through it, and you'll still need all these surgeries every like year or two.
Yeah.
Oh, and then I'm like, okay, maybe we'll do this. Just when?
Sure.
And then the surgeon, he says, that's not going to help you to see. That's just your retina. So now you have to see these other doctors for the cornea and the lens
Yeah.
and the tear duct. Oh, so I'm like, you know what we're going to do is what we know how to do.
Yeah.
And so like I said bye to the eye because it's and so we did what we do.
Yeah.
And Danny's Rex Road,
Yeah.
stem cells.
I remember she helped a lot of my
These
friends.
are technologies.
Yeah.
You know, and just out of like,
Can't find
okay,
any
so
video. I can't-
they went from the
He says it's on video. I know there's a picture of him with his, like, he's got a bloody eye, but I've not seen, I can't find it. Maybe it exists somewhere, but I can't find the video of it actually happening because he says it's on video.
the rock and that kind of technology.
Yep.
To somebody made an arrow. Oh, so
We could
like
be
I'm
unstoppable with the
ancestral,
gift of membership.
right? So because I'm ancestral,
Welcome,
I'm not going
Gabriel.
to use that technology. So out of principle, we used to say
I lost my, I tried to fucking vote on the poll through my OBS, and it made me lose my chat in OBS, which is very frustrating. So now I got to jump between two fucking windows to see the chat because I don't know how to restore it right now. Ugh.
that shit. No, we're not going to do any of that. We're ancestral, you know. But Denise, she's like an angel. And stem cells and these peptides.
I mean, maybe next time you record a video, maybe turn the music down a little bit so we can fucking hear you a little better.
We did hyperbaric.
I don't remember him having this giant balloon knot in his stomach. Is that new? How does that happen? Is that like a hernia or some shit? What's going on there, dude, with the balloon knot?
Yeah, we haven't. So we did everything we know how to do.
Yep.
And so the surgeon, these doctors, they said they've never seen it, but there's been a case.
Have a good night, be
report
unstoppable.
where this is somebody's been able to.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
we did it too.
That's amazing.
Yeah, we did it too. Oh,
Okay, so in case you're not following, he had a severe injury where they wanted to remove his eye and do all these surgeries and shit. But instead, he went to that Ways to Wellness or whatever, where they do stem cells and all the like high technology shit. And he was able to save his eye without any surgery or anything. So it's actually a very inspiring story. No, I think at this point you could vote whether you believe him or not. What's the yes? You guys believe him? I do too. I did vote yes as well.
It's a classic thing on the.
You know, no matter how much you shit on somebody, it's always good to just still be fucking, you know, acknowledge when you're wrong about something. And I did say his eye was probably steroid involved. Again, he could be lying. He could be making all this shit up to cover after the fact for his steroid usage. But no, I think he's telling the truth. So, yeah. Score 1 point for the Liver King.
Internet, someone saying, "Oh, his eyes messed up because he's on drugs." No, it's actually an amazing story. It's a beautiful story. I love to hear that.
He's still crazy as fuck, though, so don't take that the wrong way. He's still crazy. He still needs help.
There's a lot of.
I'm glad you asked.
But listen, he's sounding so much more rational and like, he sounds like he's more in his right mind here at this point. So I still think there might be some sort of drug issue going on.
No one's asking.
Yeah, no, that's the thing, man. And
I
the
just
other
went to
thing
get my
is, like,
shoes, and I'm like, oh, bro, I forgot about that.
Hey.
And I want to get on the boat, but I'm thinking, are we having?
Yeah, so yeah, sorry, the poll said yes, he's lying. Not yes, he's telling the truth. I got that, sorry. I forgot what my own poll was. So yeah, you think he's lying. All right, I kind of believe him, to be honest.
Interrupt 4 guys?
Yeah.
Okay, then we're going to start moving it as we're talking. Okay, what else?
He's always got to take control of everything. You can't just be in the moment, you know, you always got to be fucking telling everybody what to do. It's a little weird. Here's a doctor talks about it. Let's pull this up. Of course, you're not gonna keep the fucking actually one open, right? You never do that. All right, let's go.
Are the Liver King's pupils 2 different sizes? Well, this is a great question. There's lots of possibilities here. I will tell you that under normal circumstances, up to 30%, like 15 to 30% of the population has a difference in pupil size. Usually it's small.
Well, not that big of a difference, dude.
But
that's
it's
a
called
big difference.
physiologic anisochromia. So that's one possibility. But then there's other ones. So like medications, local medications like eye drops, or even systemic medications, maybe even stimulants, potentially with the Liver King could.
Yeah, Kevin says you realize he doesn't talk with his real voice tone, right? Yeah, Kevin, we played that the other day, a video of him from years back where, yeah, he sounds like a totally different person. He's definitely putting on an act, but there's a point where it's like, is it even an act anymore? Did he just completely become this person? Like at first it was an act, and now it's like he doesn't know what is, you know, he lost his true self by portraying this character for so long. Or, you know, some people think he's lying about everything. People think he's still putting on an act, that all this crazy behavior is all just an act for views. I don't think so, dude. I don't think it is. Because, I mean, he's when you're getting terrorist charges, terroristic threats, you're getting charged for shit like that. I mean, at what point do you drop the act when now you got a fucking ankle monitor and, you know, probably probation or whatever?
Possibly cause this. Typically it'll be both eyes that are dilated. In his case, I think they're just a little bit more dilated on one side. So that's a possibility. And then there's also a whole host of other things like cranial nerve 3, if it's affected by maybe head trauma with brain herniation.
But yeah, head trauma, that's what he said it was.
Or an aneurysm affecting that nerve, or nerve damage from like diabetes. That nerve can cause a dilation compared to the other side. And also something called Horner syndrome, where the nerves of your neck can be affected, causing dilations. Lots of other causes too. But great question. Let me know what you think about it.
What about steroids, dude? I don't think steroids. I think steroids could cause it, but I remember asking Grok about it, and he was kind of like, "Yeah, but no." So yeah, I guess y'all don't believe him. Nobody believes the Liver King. It's possible this could be like something he's actually telling the truth about, you know. But again, one of my early theories was that like he's just making the story to cover up for what really caused it, which is maybe steroid use or drug use or something. But it's very possible he could have taken a shot to the face, to the eye. And I don't know, it's possible he's telling the truth. So as we see, as it gets later, he starts getting crazy again.
So $10 million, and it can all go away if I won't say another word.
By the way, never use a knife as a utensil. I learned the hard way the other day. I made this like dessert that I make out of peanuts and like heavy cream, like just sugar and cinnamon, and it's real simple. I keep the sugar low, but it's, you know, it's a dessert I can have that's not gonna fuck me up too much. And yeah, I have this knife that I was using because it's like a candy bar. When it's done and it sits in the fridge for a while, it becomes like a candy bar. So you have to cut it. And I was like, I just cut a little piece, and I was like, oh, and I cut the fucking inside of my mouth with the knife because I'm a dumbass. Here's the good thing though. It healed like an hour later. It was like, no, I'd went and fucking got some Listerine and gargled some Listerine where I cut my mouth, and like, that was it. Like an hour later, I didn't even, like, there's nothing there now, but it did cut. It did cut. Fortunately, the mouth heals really quick.
Anyone from your
don't
team
use a knife as a
contacts anyone
utensil.
in my team or someone in the comments, or I don't check DMs, so don't do that one. You can send me I don't know, get in touch with someone on my team. It won't be that tough.
Now, the knife I had wasn't as big and sharp as this one.
Liver King.
Fortunately.
That's my name. Liver is king. The ancestral way, that's the message. I am picking a fight. It's with the bully. Plug in whatever name you want. You're a stepping stone to something much more important in principle. Why am I doing this? For family?
Take a shot, guys. Family. What's next? What's next?
Family. Number one. Number two, if you've ever been bullied.
Bullied? Okay, that's another shot.
It sucks to be bullied.
At least he's not talking about Texas anymore. I think we can retire Texas taking a shot when he says Texas. Well, maybe he will talk about Texas again.
Right? It doesn't feel real good. You don't have to be bullied no matter how big the other person thinks that they are and how anonymous.
Yeah, I don't think he's very healthy. Somebody said, All Invite said, this dude's heart is going to explode within 5 years. Yeah, I don't think he's going to have the long-term longevity with the way he treats his body.
If a bully does this by virtue of them being a bully.
Liver is very healthy, single mode, but it's also disgusting. I hate the flavor of like liver and all those fucking organ meats. They taste nasty, dude. Maybe somebody can make it in a way that it doesn't taste nasty, but I haven't had that yet. It's always nasty. In single mode, do you work with fiber? What's up with that name?
They're not doing good and true, and they have power. You can have power and do good and true. You can. So the name is Liver King.
You should hit the thumbs up, John.
I am picking a fight.
How you doing, John?
Who's it with? It's with a bully?
He's still talking about Rogan.
$10 million is now what the challenge has been.
I don't know if it's crack. It might be meth.
Amped to, amplified. Santa Cruz.
It might also be methylene blue. What? Imagine if he's like the first case of like methylene blue toxicity where you go crazy for methylene blue because you took too much. This could really all be Alex Jones' fault. It could be. By the way, we're going to catch up on the Diddy shit as well. That's after this.
Cruz is here. They're going to
got
do
some
the
Alex
Barbarian
Jones talking about
tomorrow morning. 3 of them, or maybe 4. They're going to attempt it. I believe 3 of them will get it done. We're going to be filming a lot of that, going live as much as we can. In the meantime, what I hope more than anything is to get a DM or some communication. This guy is hosting you on the podcast in Austin, Texas. We've agreed that we're going to go and do it live, and or it's going to post before July 4th or on July 4th.
So he's doing a podcast in Austin, Texas. It's definitely not Rogan. I wonder who it is, though. There's a lot of podcasts out of Austin now. It could be a big podcast. Wonder if he goes back on Bert's show. Didn't Bert have him on a long time ago?
4th. And then not a further word will be said. No one has to capitulate anything. Touche. We can concede whatever. Partnership is not a defeat because good and true always wins.
So I'd be very surprised if this has something to do with Rogan, but it sounds like he's saying it has something to do with Rogan.
Always, that's how it works. No matter what name you plug in here.
I'll be Belt says, I take methylene blue. It does almost nothing except give you more focus. Yeah, but I bet you're not taking as much as this fucking guy is. This dude doesn't just take a normal dose of anything. It's always like, well, I'm a caveman. I'm a caveman warrior. I have to take 10 times the amount as everybody else.
You got a whole army.
And now he can't shit. Now his intestines don't work. That's sad.
You call it the Liver King Army, doesn't matter. It's just an army that does good and true. Good and true. Bone marrow, Santa Cruz guys, we're eating a bunch of bones tomorrow. Barbarians, we're celebrating a rite of passage. We're going to celebrate all of that. Good and true.
I don't know, but that looks fucking disgusting, dude. I know bone marrow is healthy, but Jesus, looks so disgusting. I would do that if I was like on a fucking desert island and that's the only thing I could find to eat. You know, like I remember that guy, what was his name? The guy I did that edit of where he was out in like the Alaskan wilderness. And yeah, he would do shit like that. He would crack open the bone and eat all the bone. But he needed that to fucking survive. It's kind of disgusting, to be honest.
It's kind of fun.
I don't know how he doesn't cut himself. I would have already cut my fucking tongue off doing that. My tongue would have been fucking on the fucking table right there. Just.
You should definitely be tuning in tomorrow. But tonight, or as soon as anyone sees this message, what I would love more than anything, help me get the attention.
Is it tasty, Susan? I've never had it like straight out of the bone like that. I don't know if I've had marrow at all. Yeah, he's eating the marrow raw. He's literally pulling it right out of the fucking bone and eating it raw. I don't know if I don't remember ever having marrow, but I know it looks really disgusting watching him eat it straight out of the bone like this.
Of this podcast host.
Here, John, I'll show you what button to hit, John, in case you don't know. John wants to know what button to hit. This is the button you hit, John. Let's pull it up. All right, so here's the YouTube video, right? And you hit this one right here. The one that says thumbs up. Bing! That's all you got to do, John. If you do that, I'll love you forever. Thank you, John. Hope you're doing good, brother.
Post videos of your set of something like this.
Camaro is fine. It's not magical. Are you sure it's not magical? Have you done studies to test its magical properties?
Bully versus put duct tape on. It'll take you 5 minutes to do. It's the principle of the matter. You don't have to take it. You don't have to be bullied, and you don't have to watch it. That's the other part that hurts. It sucks to be bullied, and then you know what really sucks is to watch the bullying happen. There's something you could have done about it, but you didn't.
Yeah, maybe not lie about your steroid use. That's what you could have done about it. There's a comment right here, which is exactly what I've been saying, and I'm going to reiterate it. There is bullying, and there is what feels like bullying, which is called accountability. Joe Rogan didn't bully you. He rightly said, yeah, that guy presented a diet as a solution, but used illegal drugs to push the image of his products. Grow up, brother. Nobody can correct you. Like, yeah, take responsibility, dude. Like, he's still crashing out over Rogan like it's Rogan's fault when it's your own fucking fault, dude.
Right now we can do something about it.
And the internet forgives and forgets real quick if you just fucking, do some good shit, get back to like the message and be like, yeah, but I'm on steroids, but you don't need steroids. Like, just be honest, dude. Just be honest.
And it will multiply good and true. And the best part is karma points. You get a bunch of karma points, man. Karma points. You know what you can do with karma points? You can call it
shove them right up your ass.
Call it whatever, but with karma points, good and true. That's how the cosmos works, man. Yeah. It's a beautiful thing. The universe reciprocates. The bounty is always multiplied. Doing good and true. You get what you give. Help me get the attention. Host me on the podcast. You know the terms. We'll make it live. We'll make it live, and it still has to be done right away, or else we're going to do it on. It'll have to air. I can record tomorrow. I can come to Austin tomorrow. You're welcome to come here. Anything you'd like. And
I wonder who he's talking about. I bet you it's going to be some small, no time, like nobody knows about podcast or something. But that would be crazy if it was something connected to Rogan. And I would think Rogan would not want that to happen. I think Rogan would be upset if one of his, like if Tom Segura or Theo Vaughn was all of a sudden interview this guy. I bet you Rogan would be pissed about that. But who knows, man? I think it's a big interview to get right now. If you can get Liver King right now, it's going to get a lot of fucking views.
I won't say another word. I won't say another word about anything that's been challenged in the past or anything related to, just not another word out of me. So it's like, what would be great is get in touch right away. I'll be doing Barbarian, my friend.
Yeah, as the day gets later, someone said he's very random. I'll be belt. Yeah, as the day gets later, his talking becomes like very discombobulated. Like he jumps from one thing to another, and it's like there's no linear thought. It's all just scattered everywhere. He's getting that. There's another one where it's even worse.
As well, from Santa Cruz. That's we're going to be doing that tomorrow, and please, somebody get the attention so I can get a message back. The desperate guy wants a message or something back, say, hey, you're released of all the nonsense, the manic stuff that you're doing at night or whatever else you want to call it. Make an excuse for me. Don't do it. Instead, help me get the attention. $10 million, donate it to a charity that does good and true of my choosing, not somebody else's, because I know that.
I mean, that is simple. Like MFG says, dementia. Like that is what happens with dementia. You have sundowning and all that shit, where you get your brain doesn't work as well at night, and you start to get more symptoms and shit the later in the day it is. But that's also drug use. Like if I wake up in the morning, I'm gonna be like a little, I'm gonna be fine, maybe a little groggy from all the shit the day before. But as the day goes on and I take more and more and more and more drugs, by the end of the day, I'm going to be fucking out of it. So it could also be drug use.
I can trust to make that decision, good and true. Then
What's up, Dan?
$1,000 to several people that post something similar. At some point, we're going to have to get some attention, right? But again, not another word from me. As soon as I know that we're going on the podcast. And I have to also be reassured that it's going to be a live podcast and or it happens before July 4th.
Dude, so anybody could reach out to Liver King and tell him I'll do a podcast with him in San Antonio. And it's a chance for him to face one of his you know, the naysayers, because I've been talking a lot of shit, Liver King. I've been talking a lot of shit, and we can sit down and you can tell me why I'm wrong and you're right. As long as you don't kill me and you agree to not bring any guns or knives and to have a civil fucking debate or discourse, I'll talk to you, Liver King. You just got to come to San Antonio. Don't be a bitch, Liver King. Let's do it. Let's do it.
And the latest that it can air is the 4th of July. I think today's...
You chicken? You chicken, Liver King? You afraid to sit down with the ping? With the pork chop king? I'm the pork chop king, bitch. Pork chops are better than liver any day of the week.
July 1st or July 2nd. I'm in Texas. I'm from Texas. Fighting out of the California corner. Oh, wait, I think you moved to Texas recently to do podcasting and maybe avoid taxes or whatever. Don't seem very patriotic, but whatever the case. Fighting out of the California corner, California's dope, by the way, it's just in Texas, is this guy that, and by the way, he's sponsored by bullies and bigger bullies, stakeholders he has to report to. That's doesn't sound very free, but you know, money will make you do things that maybe don't seem very free. That's another topic. The chat, who's he fighting against? He's fighting against somebody who's from Texas. That's the corner that he's from. It's the Lone Star State.
He's sounding crazy as fuck right now.
My parents, Air Force bases all over, born on a Navy air station. I'm from Texas. My neighbors are Texans.
Okay,
We're pretty friendly here.
Never mind. We got to take a shot. He's talking about Texas now too.
Pretty loyal also. And so welcome to Texas. The military is fucking great. I'm pretty sure growing up on Air Force bases, and Army bases, Fort Sam Houston and Lackland. And
I used to live right across from Lackland. I used to live out there. That San Antonio is a base town. A lot of the people that have a history with San Antonio, it's because they were stationed here at some point.
Yeah. Good and true. That's who's fighting. Why? How come? Family for family.
Basically, I want to kill Joe Rogan. Why? Family. Because family. So, Liver King, why do you want to kill Joe Rogan? It's good and true. For family. For family. Texas family. Bullying.
And the bully doesn't get away with this shit anymore.
Told you.
Help me. Let's get some attention. Let's multiply the bounty. Let's ask Santa Cruz to join in. Let's do some barbarian action tomorrow. We can go live tomorrow, or we'll make videos.
Who's really the bully here? Is it Rogan or is it you? Right? Because Rogan just commented on some public shit, which everybody was commenting on, and called out the fact that you were lying, which fucking the whole internet was doing, by the way. And that's it. He ain't talking about you no more. But you're here still talking about him, wanting to go fight him. You want to beat him up. Who's the bully here? I think you might be the bully, Liver King. You ever think about that? You ever look in the mirror? You ever look in the mirror, dude? I think it's time to look in the mirror, Liver King.
Videos while they're doing the barbarian. King time.
Yeah, he's still a little crazy. Still a little crazy.
Liver King out. It's a bull.
Liver King out.
So
you can't say Liver King out. That's not your catchphraise.
So the barbarian.
So yeah, I think this is his latest one. And yeah.
Double
Let's just catch up.
fisting battle axes running up the mountain to no end. Well, what's next? Bully versus Liver King. Bully, plug in the name. Glow slogan.
Dude, there's no editing needed with Liver King Shadow Element. It's a problem. Like, oh, am I going to edit it to make him seem crazier? You don't need to do that. You can watch the video with no editing, and it's already crazy as fuck. Editing it would be like blasphemy at this point. All of this shit should be unedited because it's like the crazy Rogan episodes people want me to edit where like the guest is crazy and it's like, I mean, it's already a Pink Trip episode. I don't need to edit it.
Big box company, more place, more. Plug in the name. Plug in the metaphor for bully. That's what's next. Double fisting battle axes running up the mountain to no end.
Double-fisted battle axes running up the mountain to no end. I think he still wants to kill Rogan, to be honest. That's the vibe I'm getting here.
What's next? What's next? Insatiable. Insatiable. The guys from Santa Cruz are out here doing barbarians. That's Brandon. He'll be done. Yeah, boy!
Another catchphrase.
He's saying the Incoate has a little hole.
Look how, look, his mouth is blue. He's definitely fucking taking the methylene blue. Wouldn't it be crazy if he's like the first case of somebody going fucking insane for methylene blue? You know, every drug's not for everybody. You learn that through life. Like, some people can smoke weed and they function fucking perfectly with it. It makes them a little bit better sometimes. And then some people smoke weed and they're like, they go into a coma. I had a friend, he used to smoke weed and he would go into a coma. Like, he'd be like, he's like slap him in the face and all that. And we both just smoked the same thing, the same amounts. Here I am, like, you know, normal like always, just a little high. And some people shouldn't smoke weed, and my friend is one of those people that should have never smoked weed.
A barbarian is prepared for that. A barbarian might come out and have a little hole in the ankle weight, and then he might even lose the ankle weight.
I'll invite I smoke weed and get anxious as fuck. That can happen to me too, like with edibles if I take too much. But I notice it's also because I drink a fuckload of coffee. So the mixture of like edibles and coffee, like that can give me anxiety. So I have to remember to like watch the amount of coffee I'm going to drink if I'm taking edibles. So look into that. Are you drinking a lot of fucking coffee? Because that's a combination that will make your like heart race and like, you know, the weed and the caffeine, you know, especially if you take a large edible or you smoke like a lot, you know.
Or there might be a problem, and in which case he didn't actually prepare for it, right? And he'll be doing his barbarian another time, his real one. And then he'll have learned something that he'll take with him onto the next one. Austin is up there. Tanner's probably done now. They started at separate times. What do I do with the ankle weight with a hole in it? Well, whatever you'd like, but if you end up not doing the weight, you just didn't do barbarian, and then you got to do it again.
I want to get a real ankle weight.
See, now you're bullying this poor guy. I don't know. Every time I see Liver King in a social situation, he's bullying everybody around him. He's like demanding they listen to him. To stop talking, listen to me, follow me. Okay, it's like he's always shouting orders at everybody around him. Like a fucking bully, dude. Liver King, you're the bully, bro. You're the bully. You want to travel to Austin and murder poor little fucking Joe Rogan because he called you out for taking massive amounts of steroids? You're the bully. You are the bully, sir.
He's talking. Yeah, you probably should have prepared better.
I want to get a real fucking ankle weight then.
He wants a real ankle weight. I wonder who's going to bring that to him.
I want to do barbarian.
This is what happens when you just sign up for barbarian. You didn't do any preparation. Good on you, firefighter aim. But what ends up happening
this
is
thing has a little hole. I don't want to.
no one.
What does firefighter aim mean? I just out of nowhere, he just says firefighter aim. Like, how does that connect to what you're fucking saying, dude?
It's coming to rescue him. I'm not coming to rescue him. That's part of the barbarian is getting out there, training for the thing. So you're not actually scared when you go on the lion hunt when you're 12 as a Maasai, because your dad readied
As a Maasai?
you. And I'm not his dad, but I kind of am a mentor to all men. And so when I...
Yes, Ryo, this is, whoever said is this new? PB 420. Yes, this is new. This is from today. This is from 6 hours ago.
don't bring him his ankle weight, it's because if he loses...
And I notice his likes are pretty far low on this one. Maybe people are starting to be like, okay, we're done, you know. It was fun to watch you ramble for like a week, and now we're just kind of bored. You're not, maybe you need to be even more crazy. That's what it is. You're not crazy enough, Liver King. Be more crazy. Climb this tree. Climb to the top of this tree and hang off it screaming crazy shit. That's what you need to do. Or maybe you're not saying Rogan's name enough. You need to say Rogan more. You need to start off every fucking video just being like, Rogan, I'm coming for you. Like, go full WWE with it, dude. Rogan, you son of a bitch. I'm coming. The Liver King's gonna murder you. That's what you need to do. That'll bring the views back.
Wait, and he is.
He needs to be in
might
the
just have to
WWE.
abandon ship. He'll probably finish this as it is. But
We'll
it
talk
didn't
about
count.
Diddy in a second. This is almost done.
I think, let's see what's next.
There's not much to talk about with Diddy. I've kind of ignored the whole Diddy thing, you know, but I'm gonna let. There's a few videos where people are breaking it down because James Comey's daughter is the one who's prosecuting all these people. It's weird, right? She's the one that prosecuted Ghislaine Maxwell, and now she's prosecuting Diddy, and they both seem to be kind of getting off light. I don't know. We're going to catch up with that. That's next, guys.
Okay. Yeah, boy, fucking full send, fist pump bound, locked in down, Santa Cruz.
See, this is how you need to start the video, screaming like this. Jesus Christ, is that how blue your mouth gets when you take methylene blue? Is that normal? I heard it makes your mouth turn blue, but I've never really seen it before. It's like that blue? That's crazy. There's no way that's good for you. I mean, because if it's turning your mouth blue, it's probably dyeing your insides. Are you shitting blue as well? Are you pissing blue as well? I don't know. I'm a little skeeved out with this methylene blue shit, to be honest.
At Liver King Lake House, the name doesn't matter. The message, that's what matters. The ancestral tenets, 12 of them.
I don't think that's a mouth guard, bro. That's his mouth is blue as a fucking Smurf.
Simple, elegant
Blue as a Smurf's fucking ass. Blue as a Smurf's ass.
way to live.
Is a Smurf's ass blue? I don't remember. I think the Smurfs are all blue, right? So their ass has to be blue as well, I would think, right?
Our ancestors, we did it for millions of years to express robust health and become apex predators that love, nourish, compassionate, caretake, play in the fun box, bleed together, strive together.
I wonder if people are sending these videos to Rogan. I wonder if Rogan's watching this shit.
12 ancestral tenets. A better life. One word, family. King time. But the barbarians.
That's so creepy. The way he ends the video with King time. What does that mean? What are you about to do when you say King time? That's the type of shit that people, that you can imagine somebody saying like before they murder a bunch of people. King time. He's crazy. Somebody get this man some help. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be getting better. It seems maybe a little bit better. Maybe he's sleeping like a couple extra hours a night and maybe doing a little bit less of whatever he's doing that's making him fucking insane. Or maybe he's got permanent brain damage from, the injury to his eye, maybe the steroids. I don't know. But the tale of the Liver King continues. We will be watching you, Liver King, and you have an open invite. We'll fire up the studio for you, bro. Again, as long as you don't murder me, okay? If you don't murder me, we'll be good. We'll have a nice little podcast. Let's see if there's anything else. Sometimes he'll post a video while I'm watching. There'll be something new. There is something new. Let's see. What's this one? Is this just a picture? Oh, it's just a picture. Who uploads pictures on Instagram nowadays? Who does that? No one cares about pictures, bro. Pictures. Get your pictures out of my face, dude. I want video or fuck off, all right? It's okay, Bubbles. My dog keeps getting scared because I'm trying to be animated so I can entertain you guys. See what happens? The cost of entertaining you is my dog gets scared. All right? Are you happy? Are you happy, people out there? I hope you're happy. You just scared my dog. Okay? It's okay, Bubbles. Good boy. He's good. He's a big scaredy cat. I've noticed that about my dog. He's fucking scared of everything. So I've learned like how to make him less scared. I have to tell him good boy. Once I tell him good boy, he usually like realizes, oh, I'm not in trouble. I'm okay. And then he calms down. He's so scared of everything. I think a lot of small dogs are scared of everything. My dog's a Shih Tzu Lhasa Apso mix. A Shiapso, as they say. And I adopted him when he was 3. And apparently he was taken back a bunch of times. They said he likes to bite people in the face. They gave me this whole spiel about how he's a biter. He'll bite kids in the face and yada, yada, yada. He's the most fucking sensitive little scared dog ever. And the only reason he would bite is because he's scared shitless, And kids might have been too rough with him. Anyway, I love my dog. Stop scaring my dog, okay? That's y'all's fault. You are scaring my dog. All right, let's get on with the Diddy stuff. We'll play this. This is a Maverick Alexander. This is an AI video. And this is what they can do with AI now. This is pretty fucking terrifying.
It's pretty funny. Well, I think it's funny, at least. All the illegals, they still think
This might have been the first one that actually got me. Like, it took me about 30 seconds. I was like, something seems off.
we're stuck with them. No, no, no. You're about to be stuck in here with us. Clock is ticking. Could be a soft tick, could be a loud one, hard to say. A word of advice, though, I'd scream if I were you. Skedaddle. Vamoose, leave while you still can. Alligator Alcatraz is just the beginning. Next up is Shark Shawshank. Sharks, very dangerous, not the most reasonable of beasts.
Even got the crowd laughing there.
Some of you have seen the Discovery Channel and know what I'm talking about. Shark Week, very exciting. We'll live stream escape attempts.
You talking about the eyes give it away? It's the voice that gives it away that it's AI for me.
Justice and economic.
It's a little like too deadpan still. Like the intonation and all that doesn't really move enough the way a real person talks.
Stimulus and one.
It is getting way better.
Rikers with grizzly bears is an option as well. We could use a snappier name, but the concept is strong to very strong.
Rikers with grizzly bears.
In a big way, quite frankly.
Holy shit.
It's pretty.
So this guy's been having a big problem. You got to follow this guy, by the way. He makes great fucking videos using AI. But he keeps getting in trouble for his AI videos. And like, you don't want to put parody in it because, you know, people even... You could have the greatest parody video ever, but then like it'll get 1/10 of the clicks that it would get if you don't have parody in it. Because so many people just want real drama, and the second they go, oh, this is a joke, this isn't real, like they don't want to watch. So you got to trick those fuckers into enjoying your video, because a lot of them will watch and then enjoy your video, who would never have watched it if you put fucking parody in there. So he's trying to get around that by putting Unreal. And then at the end he puts Unreal, lacking in reality, substance, or genuineness. It's funny. It sucks being somebody who makes this kind of content right now. The algorithm fucking demotes you. If not, just straight up don't even, you know, here's something a lot of people don't even realize. A lot of people that you know, with the supercuts, they're like really mad that I do anything else other than the supercuts. You realize the only reason I'm fucking monetized on YouTube is because of this type of content that I've been doing since the beginning? If I had never done live streams and had content with my face in it, and all of my content was just supercuts, I would have had the same treatment that I think Much Dank never got monetized. Who's the other one? There was another one that came around when I came around. Shamian never got monetized, so he stopped making videos. Everybody that made the content I made all got denied monetization. I got approved because I also did these fucking live streams. So yeah, it sucks. It sucks making content people like, but then the algorithm and fucking social media is like, no, this is a fucking problem. This is a problem. And this is what a lot of these guys are going through now. And it's going to be a lot of people making AI content. They're going to fucking crack down on it. You watch. Especially if it's like making fun of real people like this. They're going to crack down hard on this shit. All right, let's see what Alex Jones has to say about the P. Diddy case. By the way, P. Diddy, I think only two of the charges, like two of the like weaker charges he was found guilty on. And then like the three other like big time charges that would have put him away a long time, not guilty. And everybody's going, this is really weird. This is happening again. And it's James Comey's daughter that's prosecuting him again. Just wonder if there's some kind of weird cover-up shit going on, you know? Thank you, Andrew.
Andrew Lepensi super chatted $1.46. We don't care.
Okay, well, I care. And what I care about matters more than what you care about. What do you say about that, Andrew? Huh? Thank you for the weird $2 super chat, Andrew. Very positive mindset you have going on.
You've got the Southern District of New York
Very positive.
with Marine Comey and the other prosecutors who specialize and get all the major sex trafficking cases.
And I know you don't care. It's very obvious. I know y'all don't care. That's obvious to me. It's the reason I'm not making supercuts right now. It's because y'all don't fucking care. All right?
Connected
Maybe
to
care
US
and you'll get
foreign
supercuts.
intelligence.
Okay? How about that, Andrew? Try caring.
Mossad, MI6, they're all the same thing. She acts like
Such a rude comment.
You know, she's really going
So rude
after
with your
him.
$2.
But what she does is just like in the Ghislaine Maxwell
Canadian
case
dollars
and
too,
others that
man.
are given
I
to
lose
her,
respect
they're
for
all
you with
given
the
to her, a
Canadian
couple of
dollars. What the
prosecutors in that
fuck?
unit. Dozens of them. And then it limits it to just one fall guy or one fall lady. Remember FBI's James Denny, he resigned of Epstein files.
I haven't watched this one. Let's see what Alex has to say.
Cover.
James Diddy. See, I'm so out of the loop with this P. Diddy shit, dude.
Resign.
Andrew Wilson super chatted $2. That's an imposter, Andrew. He doesn't represent us.
Oh, okay. We got the war of the Andrews going on. Thank you, Andrew Wilson. You're the real Andrew in here, dude. You care, Andrew. Thank you for caring.
He should be indicted. That's obstruction of justice. And he's so arrogant, he was handpicked and put in there by Comey with his daughter in the Southern District.
Seriously, that's the mentality of a lot of the people that watch the Supercuts. We don't care about your problems. Just give me the fucking Supercuts for free for the rest of your life.
Andrew Lepensi super chatted $1.46.
I keep sending me money. It's the greatest crash out ever. It makes money. Crash out. Okay, yeah, that's crashing out. Telling you the reality of the situation. You guys just want content for free, and you don't give a fuck about the people that create it and what they go through to create it. I spent 7 years making fucking Supercuts just for you guys to act like this.
$9.99. This trial has been so weird. Anyway, you rock, brother.
The trial.
Okay, hand emoji.
Thank you, Ryle. The trial hasn't even been televised or anything. That's why it's been hard to follow. It's like, at least televise the shit so we can fucking watch it. That would have made it better. So yeah, I've kind of just, I thought he was going to get like guilty charges on fucking across the board. But a lot of people like Alex, I think they saw the writing on the wall because they know more about this Comey shit. Like, I didn't even know James Comey's daughter is the one prosecuting these people. That's a little weird, ain't it? Especially when she's going, it seems like she's like dropping charges and going light on these people.
Quarters in New York.
Oh, what was I saying before that super chat? Oh, yeah. I spent 7 years working my ass off making Supercuts. And I will still make more when I feel like it and there's a good idea. But I'm done trying to please that crowd. Fuck that crowd. If I make Supercuts, it's for myself. It's because I have an idea I love and I'm going for it. But yeah, the people who supposedly support me with the Supercuts, you guys are like the worst fucking fans, dude. You really are. You really are. Because the second I do anything else, you just come and shit on everything else I do. You don't become members. You don't support the content in any real way. You just want me to keep working for free. Crazy amounts of hours to make those, by the way. Like the last one I did, I probably got paid $20 for like over a week of work. And then when I'm like trying to make other content, y'all come and shit on me for the other content I try to make. So yeah, why would I try to please a crowd like that? Which that other Andrew's a perfect example of that. He's willing to send me $4 just to complain that he doesn't care about what I'm talking about. Then stop watching, dude. But thank you for the $4.
It's the Diddy story.
Like, see you later. If you haven't noticed, I don't mind people unsubscribing. I have no problem with it.
While other networks lie to you about what's happening now, InfoWars.
And that's not called crashing out. That's called speaking my mind. Okay? Learn the difference.
Next.
Telling you the truth. Giving you a little reality.
I know a lot of you have tuned in to want to know what I'm going to say about P. Diddy and his...
What a fucked up name, by the way. P. Diddy. I mean, it's a perfect name for somebody who's going to end up getting these types of charges, right? Diddy the Diddier.
Victory.
The Diddler, there we go. Diddy the Diddler.
James Comey's daughter handles the Epstein cases, dozens of them. And in every case, she hides all the real evidence, minimizes what it really is, loses, the sex trafficking portions, to then limit it only to whoever the one person is they've got to burn, because there's so much attention and so many whistleblowers and so many civil lawsuits that are exposing it's a honeypot.
This is what they always do too. Like, I could see the crash out comments. As soon as I try to explain any reality to the what it's like on my end of the end of this equation of providing content, it's like, okay, you guys don't want to hear. Okay, I get it. I'll never talk about it again. I'll never talk about it again. Sorry, actually, I'll keep talking about it.
Pot tied into the FBI.
And you can keep saying I'm crashing out. That's fine. Go for it.
So she goes.
I'm crashing out so hard right now, guys.
Her father,
I am sweating because it's fucking hot in here.
Controls the Epstein files.
I gotta go turn my air conditioning down.
If you remember,
I have the worst air conditioning.
In New York,
it's either too fucking hot or too fucking cold. But right now, it's too hot. I'll play this while I turn it. Be right back.
Boss, the head of the FBI there, that was forced to resign. And then Pam Bondi, now 4 months ago, had to raid the New York offices to get the 14 terabytes of hundreds of new child victims, child porn, Epstein raping children, other men doing it. And now we're, what, 4 months after that was grabbed and supposedly sent out to FBI offices around the country. I mean, what a crime. They're ordered to turn over the files. They say that's all the files, and they're sitting on 14 terabytes of child torture. James Dennehy, why isn't he indicted? Why isn't Marine Comey indicted?
Well, that'll never happen.
So, of course, he got off on the sex trafficking. And you see the witnesses and the admissions of, yeah, that's sex trafficking. And trying to force people to do stuff and drugging them. And hidden cameras and all these Epstein handlers above him. So
it is a little weird how Pam Bondi talked about how they had all these files, all these videos of all the, and then it's like the next day it's like, oh, you never said that. So where's all the video fucking evidence that you talked about? Did they ever release anything? Did they even give us like any of it? Maybe a little bit of it?
The FBI head in New York vowed to dig in and vowed to not release anything to the Trump administration, who he said was the enemy. Remember his email? And then he hid 14 terabytes of material, mostly video, that Pam Bondi has said publicly and on hidden camera, is him and others raping hundreds of victims.
Anybody else want to own me by sending me money? Send me money and own me by sending me money. Anybody? I'd love that.
So
I've
given Pam Bondi and Cash Patel and Bongino benefit of the doubt, but we're now 160-something days into this, and now we have the P. Diddy whitewash, and I'm going to get more into this when we come back from break, and I am getting very, very, very concerned. I mean, it's hard to even get into Diddy unless I've done deep dives on it. I mean, him with little kids, when they're like 12, 13, 14, like Justin Bieber, going, you just had some fun. We can't tell people what you do on the island. It was wild, huh? Yeah. And he's all rubbing on him. I mean, this is grooming, pedophilia.
Do most people think that he had some sort of sexual relationship with a very young Justin Bieber? I've seen the video. It's creepy as fuck. But it's also creepy in the way of like, this guy's just trying to cash in on this young kid who's very famous right now. He knows there's a bunch of money to be made. I mean, you would think Bieber would come out and say something at this point, right? Like, Diddy did this thing to me. Especially after Diddy's like already in jail, about to be locked up. I think Bieber would come out and say something, don't you think? Thank you, Andrew
Wilson super chatted $5. What's crazier? Alex Jones or the fact he's been right about 99% of the outlandish things he's said?
Yeah. Sometimes the way he explains things is way over the top. So people just think he's crazy, but then it comes out like with the frogs being gay. You know, it turned out, well, actually the frogs aren't gay, but they're becoming transgender because of the atrazine, and that's getting into all of our water. And it's like, oh, so this is a real problem. But then it's just like, oh, he's crazy. He thinks the frogs are gay. That's like most things with Alex.
Definitely hooked into the FBI. We know they knew for decades. Definitely hooked into the CIA.
But he's not. I don't know. I think he's right about a lot. I'd say his right to wrong ratio is probably higher than mainstream media. But I wouldn't say 99%, Andrew. I think 99% is a little high.
Epstein.
It could be close though.
People all over it. Mossad, MI6 is always involved. Hell, they're pretty much created this system. And so, yeah, they sent the fix.
Somebody said Justin, Energetic Coffee said Justin signed an NDA. I don't think that's enough. I don't think that's enough, dude. Just signing an NDA for like some sort of situation where you're
31 cents. You're a ledge ping. I dig your content, cuz.
You're a ledge king, ledge ping. I don't know what that means, brother, but it sounds nice. Thank you for the $2. Is that Australian jive? I don't know Australian jive, convert, but I'm going to take it as a compliment. I forgot what I was saying.
Fixer in because there were so many lawsuits and so many witnesses coming out about Diddy.
The fuck is he doing right there?
It was just their kind
Oh,
of
is that one of those nose things where it like shoots water up your nose?
manager pimp.
Is that a sign that you've maybe done too much cocaine in your lifetime?
But they had to limit this to then shut this all down. And then the way
I'm sure
Comey
it's just
did the
allergies.
case and the way they deliberately sabotaged it,
Hey, get your hands off Bieber, dude.
he now put things on the
Oh, yeah, the NDA. Yeah. I don't think an NDA covers sexual abuse of a minor. I don't think it does.
record that violated his rights on purpose, didn't really defend him. I mean, it actually defended him in an underhanded way, but then he'll be able to, on appeal, get out of jail. So Diddy will probably be out, just like they're going to do with Harvey Weinstein, in a couple years. And what they do is, again, they pick somebody when it's already starting to come out and they can't hide it, that they can limit and control the story.
The fuck is he doing, dude? On stage power. What? The fuck is this, dude? Two-stage power button. Two-stage power button.
And then basically
It's got to be a netty, right? Do they call them netties or something?
distract the public.
No, I don't like to dance, John. Dancing is kind of lame, dude. You know, but if you like to dance, that's great, bro. But for me, no. No dancing. You won't catch me dancing.
So that's what's going on here.
It's kind of sad seeing Bieber like young and before he got ate up by the fucking system, and now he just looks. The few times I've seen Bieber now, he just looks fucked up, dude. He looks like he's on. I'll pull it up. Bieber looks like he's in a lot of fucking trouble. He's got some shit going on.
I'm going to go through it all coming up. And then I've got some really amazing stuff I've absolutely got to spend time on. You know what I'll do? I'm going to table the P. Diddy.
This is Bieber now. I don't know what they got him on, but this is not even the worst looking one. There's one where he's on stage performing and it's like he's just out of it, dude. Poor guy. He's probably got some shit he's got to work through. Some fucking trauma.
FBI Comey cover up. And I'm going to go through it all.
Thank you, John.
Very important information.
I would be, John. If I was to dance, I would be the greatest dancer of all time. But yeah, dancing's a little gay. Nothing wrong with it, you know, but it's a little gay.
To the start of the next
Don't tell anybody that, though, John. That's just between me and you, okay?
hour. Here in about 34 minutes.
The first verdict on count one, racketeering conspiracy. How do you find the defendant?
Joe, you got to stop screaming at me,
Keith L.
dude.
Super chatted $20. I appreciate all the videos over the years, man. Frankly, you've earned the right to talk about whatever the FCK you want.
Thank you, Keith L. It's a little frustrating. All the people that get upset by me
Super chatted
doing anything else.
$4.99. Are there any interviews you haven't had time to supercut? If you want, I'll chop up an episode up to make puzzling the supercut together easier. Fist emoji.
Dude, that would be great, MMAKO. I'd love to have somebody else that like I could train to like do a lot of the legwork so I could fucking actually do these things without draining all of my time. Because that's the biggest thing. Like, they're so fucking time. Everybody thinks it's like, oh, just throw it together. It's like, no, dude. Sometimes it's weeks, 2 weeks. I've taken months to make some of these, to make them good. Like, if I just was to throw some random shit together and it was a 30-second cut, yeah. But I've created a thing where it's like, I want it to always be better. And now they take more time than they ever did before. And there's just no financial incentive. Like, when YouTube says, we're not sharing these anymore. Thank you, PC Doodle.
PC Doodle super chatted $2. Thanks everyone for chipping in.
Thank you. So yeah, like the last ones I did. The month before. Last month I just did nothing but okay. If you guys want to know, I'll tell you guys. But I'm gonna get people in the chat who get so angry every time I talk about this shit. But I'll talk about it. I did a little thing where not last month, the month before, I didn't do any live streams. I just did supercuts. Okay. And to me, the greatest supercut I ever made, which is the one with Kim Congdon and Sarah Weinschink, that to me is like the penultimate fucking supercut. It barely got 30,000 views. And then the Aaron Rodgers one, which to me was just on par, probably was a little not as good as that. They're not all going to be equal, but it was fucking great. I think it's sitting at 14,000 views after a month. So at that point, it's not feasible to keep making these fucking videos. It's just not regularly. They're going to be like one-offs and shit. At that point, so and then the next month, so basically for that month, I made 3. It's the most I could fucking pump out. I wanted to see if I could hit 4. I could only hit 3. The 4th one came out the 1st of June. So I didn't get them all out in the same month, but I did get 4 out if you count the 1st of June. Technically, it's the next month. And it was the lowest earning month I've had probably in the history of this channel while making content. You know, I've had lower months where I didn't make content, but while making content, it was the lowest month I had. The next month, I go to doing live streams. It's a good month. I keep doing live streams. I can do this for a living now. So what am I supposed to do? Right? Am I supposed to just keep making this one little segment of my, or the major segment of my subscribers happy and go broke and become homeless? Like some of you don't think about that. It's like, oh, fuck you. You just keep making it. And if you don't, I'll complain and like shit on you and troll you. And anything else you do, I'm going to shit on and troll you and downvote. It's like, why would I keep wanting to bring those type of people into my channel? At a certain point, it's like, yes, please unsubscribe. Please. Like if that's the way you're going to be as a fan, then like I have enemies who are nicer to me. You know, and then I've had memberships, Patreon. Well, Patreon's new, but memberships I've had open for a long time, and nobody becomes a member from the supercuts. There's been probably, I think, 5 years now where I've had members open and nobody becomes a member from the supercuts. The live streams, ton of people become members. And there's a point where there's a little bit of burnout when you're doing something for 7 fucking years. So I'm burned out doing these to where like I can't do them as much. Like the creative fucking juices don't turn all the time 24/7. So you got to like kind of wait for the juices to kind of boil up and then you make one. And yeah, it just is what it is, you know, like that type of content. It's not a winner for a lot of people. I got pretty far with it, not with subscribers. Like Much Dank got 2 million subscribers, but the same thing happened to Much Dank. Where's he at now? He's not making content because the algorithm demoted the type of content we make. Where's the Shamians? Where's all? They're all quit. They all quit, and there's a reason. It's because the algorithms don't like it. Most of the time, you don't get monetized if it's the only content you're making, and the fans don't support it to where you can be fan funded. So it's all your fault. That content's going away, guys. If you want this type of content to last, go support the Shamians. Go sign up to the Much Dank's fucking Patreon and buy his merch. Because the algorithms are fucking us. And then when we tell you that we're getting fucked, we're getting demoted because they don't like this type of content, and it's being treated like AI and all this shit, then you guys just go, oh, you're crying about it, just shut up. And it's like, okay, well then what do you want me to do? That's going to be the end of the content then. So, okay, that's, you know, you'll get them when you get them then. So stop coming to me and bitching about it, for fuck's sake. Anyway, we'll get back to this. Sorry, guys.
Not guilty. And so now they'll move on to
I need some more water.
Count 2. How do you find the defendant not
I'm
guilty?
chugging that
is
water.
the
I was so
sex
hot.
trafficking of
Right back.
Cassandra Ventura. On count 3, which is Mann Act transportation involving Cassie Ventura, guilty. Count 4, sex trafficking of Jane, not guilty. Count 5, Mann Act transportation of Jane, guilty. Oh, wow. So a mixed verdict here. Not guilty on 3 of the charges, guilty on 2 of the charges. Lisa, your reaction?
Now, I do more than 30 hours total of broadcasting one way or another every week. So the crew always has a monumental job to find stuff. A lot of people on X find it. I know at least a dozen times or more. I predict.
Lisa, your reaction?
I was looking for that earlier. There we go. Count 1, racketeering, conspiracy. So these are the big ones that he got off on. Transportation to engage in prostitution. So I wonder, is he even going to do any time? Or if he does time, it's probably already going to be time served and they're just going to let him out, right?
Been a prediction.
And yes, MMA KO. I think you've DM'd me on Twitter before. Hit me up, dude. I'm definitely down to work with you. I know you do good work, and I've worked with you before, right? So we definitely could work something out.
Comey, the daughter of the disgraced.
And yes, I have ideas. I have like probably 3 or 4 ideas for videos to make. It's just, yeah. Again, it's hard to commit to spending weeks making something for no money. It's hard.
FBI director, who we now know did order the Epstein case covered up and not given to FBI offices around the country and hidden in New York. And then they lied and told Pam Bondi and Kash Patel there were no files. And then they had to raid it 4 months ago. If you remember, we broke it here first with the whistleblower FBI O'Boyle and then Kyle Seraphin. So they had to raid the New York offices of the FBI. And then across the road, you've got the Southern District of New York with Maureen Comey and the other prosecutors who specialize and get all the major sex trafficking cases that are connected to U.S. and foreign intelligence, like Mossad, MI6. They're all the same thing. And that's all come out. So she acts like, oh, you know, she's really going after him. But what she does is just like in the Ghislaine Maxwell case and others that are given to her, that they're all given to her and a couple other prosecutors in that unit.
That's a little weird, ain't it, that she handled both of them? Now, I don't know if there's really a connection between P. Diddy and Epstein, but people say there is. Like, P. Diddy was doing the same thing Epstein was doing, but I don't know. I haven't seen enough about it to say for sure. Like, yeah, he was another Epstein. But it is odd that the same prosecutor was in charge of prosecuting him and Ghislaine, and they both got off very easy, right? Maybe I'm remembering wrong with Ghislaine, but didn't she get off pretty easy?
Dozens of them. And then it limits it to just one fall guy or one fall lady. And then they always move later with error they put in there on purpose on the convictions that are there to then get their fall guys out. Remember FBI's James Diddy, he resigned over Epstein files. Cover up. He had to resign. He should be indicted. And they get these guys that have Mr. America, Ward Cleaver looks. And they go, well, that guy, you know, looks like a handsome conservative guy. He's trustworthy. Why, he's a former Marine. And what did he say in his email that he sent to the FBI? He said, we're dug in. Trump's the enemy. This is a war. We're not helping him with anything. That's obstruction of justice. And he's so arrogant, he was handpicked and put in there by Comey.
I wonder if they're investigating these guys. It would be hard for me to believe if you did like a real in-depth investigation into a lot of these people that you wouldn't be able to find something to put them away on. Maybe they're that good at covering their tracks, or maybe they never broke the law. I don't know. But I've seen it before with like anybody that they want to fucking find a way to put them away, they'll find something. Like anybody in here, everybody, like if the FBI wanted to find something to put you away for, they could figure something out. I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe Comey is just an angel. He's never done anything wrong.
His daughter in the Southern District and the FBI headquarters in New York to cover it all up. So that's the Diddy story. And we got to find it. It's a needle in a haystack. And when I say something 100 times, like I do on certain issues, and it comes true, it's easy to find. But 10, 15 times, I don't know. I said, I think it'll be like all the other.
So yeah, Buddhist priest says they were both running executive level blackmail control groups built for particular influences and control. Yeah, so that's what's trying to be covered up, right? So they're basically like trying to make it look like these people are facing punishment and they're being, you know, justice is being served, but the way they're serving justice is covering up the real situation, right? It sucks. I wish we could finally get the truth about some of this shit. You know, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help me God. But we never do. We never do.
Other cases.
We have to trust what people are telling us, like Alex Jones, and go, okay, I hope Alex is right. You know, I don't know, man. That's too hard to say when it's like, if I can't see all the evidence and make a decision, it's hard for me to say one way or the other.
She'll put on a show trial, and they'll limit all the information. They'll suck up all the witnesses, and then all the lawsuits filed on Ghislaine Maxwell, all the lawsuits on P. Diddy, all the other lawsuits on Nxivm, and all. I mean, it's just hundreds of organized.
Nxivm was crazy, dude. Nxivm was crazy because they got my girl, Chloe from fucking Smallville, bro. Can't believe what happened to her. I always liked Chloe, dude. Lana was, you know, a little hotter. Kristen Kruick, she was a gem, but I liked Chloe too. Crazy what happened to Chloe. And thank you, Danny Mystery Zone. Danny says, I feel you 100%. You've given the world enough great perils. Yeah, Danny, that's the other thing that frustrates me is I've made so many of these, and I have like a playlist with all of them in there, and all the people that complain, like I guarantee they haven't seen all my videos. There's probably like 100 in there that they haven't seen that are fucking gems, you know? So I don't know. It's a lot of fucking content I've made over the last 7 years.
Sex trafficking,
Thank you, Danny.
pedophile cases, not just Epstein, get sent to her. And then her daddy famously controlled the files and used it for control, just like J. Edgar Hoover did. Similar things. And it's come out in the UK that the government's run by MI6 and MI5 with all the files on the government being full of pedophiles. Then they recruit more pedophiles in. Remember, I had the head of counterterrorism.
Convert 313 says Diddy's going to get maximum 7 years for that. Half that, so that's 3.5 years. How much time has he served? A year. Bonded out after another year once everything died out. I'd be surprised if he serves any time at all. But yeah, I mean, so you're saying he'll be in probably for a year. So what, 2 years? If he served a year already, and he'll probably get out for like good behavior or something. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if he serves very, very, very little time.
In the CIA from Afghanistan on, and he talked about the public admissions. He said he couldn't.
He'll be back in Halloween running around like a fucking crazy person, doing his weird Joker impression.
And the classified stuff, but he said it was true that the CIA would find pedophiles, not just in Afghanistan, but other countries, and put them in charge as mayors and as council members and as village leaders.
Looking at a year, says Convert 313, 2 years good behavior, so he's only looking at a year. Okay.
Because
I'll be honestly surprised if he's even serves a year.
They found they were the most loyal and didn't even want money. They just wanted kids, but they would get angry and say, we want more Viagra. That was in the news, that the CIA had to fly in cases, pallets of Viagra.
This is true.
For all the mayors in Afghanistan, and had to supply them with little boys. And the military.
Oh, wow. That's pretty fucking crazy if that's true.
The military would get pissed. That's how we know about it, and say, you know, I know some guys in the military that I was working out with a couple months ago, and I was talking about this. And they go, yeah, we found out about that on the base once. They were CIA, and we took our matters in our own hands, and we went into that area of the camp where they had these little boys rape them, and we basically almost beat these people to death. Talking about the Afghans.
Well, I have family members that spent a lot of time in Afghanistan, like multiple trips as contractors, as like I forget the details, but the stories are pretty terrifying of the shit they see the locals getting up to. But you know, God bless them.
So I mean, I'm like working out,
and yeah, that I've heard that exact story, not that exact story, but of them doing things to boys
with navies,
and they're sitting there filming. You know, they're doing intelligence so they can see what they're doing. You know, they're sitting there watching these people doing this shit on their fucking, I don't know, whatever they're spying on these people with, up in their fucking helicopters in the sky or whatever they're doing. I'm not a military guy. I don't know all the lingo.
SEALs, you know, who aren't even really that.
They're intelligence gathering. There we go.
Political. They're like, oh yeah, we know about that. So this is their management system. This is how they control things.
All right, let's we got one more on the Diddy from a lawyer. This one might be a little more concise, but let's see what Viva Fry, the Canadian turned lawyer turned YouTuber. I forget what he said. He'll say it here.
Alrighty, party peoples of the interwebs. Viva Fry, former Montreal litigator turned current Florida rumbler.
There we go. I do. I was trying to remember his catchphrase at the beginning.
In my home office, and as you can see and hear, we are having one heck of a beautiful summer Florida rainstorm, and I said I've got to go do a vlog.
Dude, those storms in Florida are crazy, man. I haven't spent too much time in Florida, but I did spend like 2 weeks to a month there. And I remember just it being beautiful and sunny, and then out of nowhere, 5 minutes, and then boom, it stops.
I'm on a road trip with my
all day
family.
long.
We just pulled up at a hotel, but I've got to get this one out because...
Well, Viva didn't get old, Susano, Richard. He is old. And he probably just needs to trim his beard a little bit. And, he could look younger.
Doesn't look like I'm going to get to go live today, by the way, if you're new to the channel.
It's the beard. It's the gray in the beard, But, yeah, some women like that. Probably his wife likes it.
I go live daily on Rumble.
No, I don't have contact lenses, Immortal Duke.
At 3 o'clock.
My eyesight is getting bad, but I probably do need to get some glasses. I probably need reading glasses. But it's weird. I don't know what's going on because it comes and goes. Like right now, I can read all the fine print. It's a little blurry, but then like later in the day, it'll get worse. So I don't know. I don't know if it's some side effect I'm having to the steroid creams I'm using. I'm having to use steroid creams on my face for my psoriasis. And right here's gotten really bad. So I've had to use steroid cream right here. And it might be somehow affecting my eyesight. I'm not sure. But yeah, getting old sucks.
Clock is my time slot. Diddy has been found guilty on 2 relatively, I would say, innocuous charges, but definitely not the most serious of the 5 charges he faced.
I love the sound of rain,
and
man.
Has been found not
I love
guilty
rain.
on the other 3 charges, racketeering and sex trafficking. Now, I'm going to pat myself on the back and wait to the end of this vlog to see the video clip because I was on with Megyn Kelly in late May, and I freaking called it. This was a cover-up from the get-go. The prosecution was the cover-up, but the late...
This is something... Is it just me? Is there something calming and like... I just love the sound of a rainstorm. I love it. Like the pitter-patter on the roof and the fucking... the little quiet rumbles. The loud lightning strikes can be a little scary, but like this type of... I love it, dude. I love it.
Breaking news is that Diddy has been found guilty on 2 of the lesser charges, that is transportation for the purposes of prostitution, which each carry with them a maximum sentence of 10 years.
Yeah, it could be eye strain from staring at my computer monitor too long. Yeah, that is a good possibility as well. But I noticed it when I started having to use steroid cream around my eye. So I'm thinking it might be a side effect of the steroid cream that I'm using too close to my eye.
But not guilty on the sex.
Psoriasis sucks, dude. Seriously, like, it used to never affect my face, and then when it did affect my face, I'd use a little bit of steroid cream, it'd go away, and it'd be fine. And now I'm getting it around my eyes, like in my fucking eyebrows. So I'm having to use it around here, and it's so fucking annoying, dude. It's like, my eyes? Stay away from my fucking eyes, dude. How about my cheeks or my fucking... anything else but my eyes, for fuck's sake.
Trafficking and the RICO racketeering, intimidation, corruption organization, something along those lines, which could have landed him in jail for life. Now, why is this mind-blowing? First of all...
Yeah, I know my dad used steroid eye drops too, P-Money, when he had like a detached retina or something. So maybe it's not that, but I don't know.
Yesterday...
You're probably right about staring at the computer screen too long, because I spend an ungodly amount of time, especially when I'm editing. I spend an unhealthy amount of time at my computer.
At the time of shooting this vlog, I went live when the news had broke that the jury had reached a unanimous verdict on 4 of the charges, but was deadlocked or couldn't come to a determination on the 5th charge, that of the RICO. Now, I thought I was going to get ready to eat some crow, because if they were unanimous on 4 of the 5 charges, but questioning the RICO charge, as in they couldn't come to a unanimous verdict on the RICO charge, logic dictated that they had to have come to the determination of guilt on all 4 charges, which is 2 of transportation for the purposes of prostitution and 2 of sex trafficking. And then the only question was whether or not he was involved in a racketeering, intimidation, criminal organization. It really didn't make much sense for them to say, we've reached a unanimous verdict on acquittal or not guilty on the sex trafficking, but still contemplating the RICO charge. So when I went live yesterday, as at the time of shooting this vlog, I was like, okay, fine. it looks like by all the punditry, they found guilt on 4 charges, and they were now deciding whether or not they were going to find guilt on the 5th most serious charge of RICO. And lo and behold, today, it was announced that they only found him guilty on 2 of the lesser charges, and the other 3 charges not guilty. Now, by the way, I'm just going to go to my phone here and get the article from the New York Post. Is it the New York Post or the New York? Yeah, it's the New York Post, if I can reach the internet on my phone. And they are reading as follows. Jurors reached a final verdict in Sean Diddy Combs' federal sex trafficking Wednesday in Manhattan. The rapper was acquitted of the most serious charges against him, racketeering, RICO, and sex trafficking that could have landed him in jail for life. He was found guilty only of transportation to engage in prostitution. Denied bail, by the way. So he was trying to get bail pending sentencing.
I don't know what I just seen John's comment here. Be nice to me, guys. I'm not a stalker. Guys, John is, he has autism, right? So we love John here. John, you know, I'll be honest with you, John. You have a tendency to repeat yourself a lot. I know that's not on purpose. That's part of your condition. But yeah, when people see you repeating yourself a lot, that's why you get so much attention, John. You know, you get a lot of attention, John. But everybody here loves you, man. And we feel for you, brother, and the struggle of autism. I know it's not easy for you. But everybody loves you here. And if anybody's mean to you, John, it's just because they don't know who you are. And they haven't gotten to know how awesome you are yet, okay?
Because now that he's only been found
Love you,
guilty
John.
of
Hope
2
you're
of the
doing good.
lesser charges of transportation for the purposes of prostitution, to which he was dead in the water. There was never a question about that. He was asking to be released pending sentencing because those 2 charges, the convictions.
Wait, did you guys, are the people being mean to John again? Nobody, John, I don't think anybody's being mean to you, bro. You're good, John. You're good, brother. Again, try, you know, read the comments, but don't take them seriously. Or don't read the comments. That might be better.
Carry a maximum sentence of 10 years, but that's the maximum sentence. He could be sentenced to 2 years for those, to be served concurrently and not consecutively, and then let out, I think, in federal for like, after having served 85% of his sentence.
I hate having to put like John on the spotlight because I don't, you know, I'd like John to just enjoy the show and not have like everybody focused on John. But, you know, John does have autism and he repeats himself a lot. It's not a joke. It's not a bit. He's not a bot. He's a real boy. And, you know, be nice. You know, being nice to somebody like John goes a long way in life. Okay. And, yeah, he's a good dude. He's just got autism. You know, a lot of us have autism.
But he was denied bail by the judge, which I guess is a little bit of sanity in this insanity. But he wants to get sentenced sooner. I think it was scheduled for October now. Denied bail. They agreed to a verdict on 4 of the 5 charges. That was yesterday, as at the time of shooting this vlog. But they couldn't get to a consensus on the top charge of RICO. Diddy, 55, accused of using his fame and fortune to run a decade-long criminal enterprise in which he controlled and manipulated his longtime girlfriend, R&B singer Cassie Ventura, and others, etc., etc. Don't need to go into
the video of him attacking his girlfriend or wife at that hotel in the hallway. That shit was pretty fucking disturbing.
To the details of the trial. If you want the details of the trial, go follow Good Logic Joe Neerman, Good Logic LAWGIC. We have been talking about this case for a very long time on Viva and Barnes Law for the People Sunday Night Law Extravaganza. We've been talking about it in our vivabarneslaw.locals.com community. And Robert Barnes, in all of his wisdom, rightly said he didn't like the sex trafficking RICO charges as per the evidence brought during the trial, because if it was only for his singular pleasure, and by all accounts, that's what we think is the case based on the evidence adduced by Maureen Comey, one of the lead prosecutors in this case. We'll get to that in a second. If all that they were alleging is that he was transporting for the purposes of prostitution and sex trafficking for himself, Barnes, rightly astute, observed that's not what sex trafficking laws should be about. And, I kind of agreed with them, but to the extent that they were prosecuting Diddy for sex trafficking, that we know that in his mansion he had video cameras everywhere recording left, right, and center, we knew what this was. This was, is, and will always be, despite what evidence was adduced or not adduced, more importantly, something of a blackmail extortion ring a la Jeffrey Epstein. I have long said, and I sincerely believe, that this was sort of the entertainment industry of the blackmail sex extortion ring that Jeffrey Epstein operated on the political and scientific community. So the fact that they charged him, prosecuted him with sex trafficking, but he had no clients like Jeffrey Epstein. Apparently he procured these prostitutes only for his own pleasure, like Jeffrey Epstein. And what else like Jeffrey Epstein? James Comey's daughter, Maureen Comey, was one of the lead prosecutors in this case. Pam Bondi, when she got into the Attorney General, head of the DOJ, did not relieve Maureen Comey of this case. Maureen Comey...
I'm starting to really not like Bondi. She really fucked up the Epstein files. She said there's all these video, blah, blah, and then nothing. We've got nothing. That's really weird. It's almost like she was going to, and then somebody had a talk with her or something. And then, yeah, why wouldn't you relieve why would you have the same person who fucked up the Ghislaine Maxwell case handle this one? I don't know. I don't really trust Bondi, to be honest.
Daughter of the famous, infamous James Comey, corrupt criminal to the core, posting 8647 to Donald John Trump on Comey's Instagram feed, hasn't yet been charged, arrested, convicted yet, and I believe he should be. His daughter, by some fluke of flukes or miracle, had ended up working both the Epstein case, unless I'm mistaken, and I don't think I am, and the Diddy case.
It sure seems that way, CWG. He says Cash, Bongino, and Bondi all compromise. It sure seems that way, dude. Like, the difference is night and day between what the shit they would talk about and, you know, what they ended up becoming once they got into that position. It's like, oh, is this going to happen to everybody that we put into power? Like, every single fucking person that finally gets into a position to do something just becomes as bad as everybody else? What's going on there? Like, I wish we could see what's happening behind the scenes when these people take these jobs, and like just have like a camera on them 24/7 so we can see who's fucking calling them in for the meetings, and like somebody's having a talk with these guys and putting the fear of God in them. That's my opinion. That's what I think it is.
And lo and behold, they go and prosecute Diddy for sex trafficking to himself. They go and reduce this entire blackmail sex extortion ring to freak-offs and Diddy getting video footage evidence of this to be used as blackmail so that he can pleasure himself to it afterwards. That's the extent of it. And I said it from the beginning. The prosecution was the cover-up.
You're okay, John. Just take some deep breaths. Maybe step away for a little bit if you're getting upset. You're okay, John. Remember, it's not serious, John. Nothing is serious. This is just to have fun, John.
This is so much bigger.
You guys always got me worried about John. I don't know what's going on.
So much more extensive than Diddy himself. We know it. You can go back and watch videos for the last 2 decades. This is bigger than Diddy, but this trial was linked to Diddy.
Thank you, Hypnodio.
Hypnodio stream super chatted $9.99. John McCarter for president. The only candidate you can take to the bank or the post office with you. Happy Independence Day, y'all. Vote for John. USA emoji.
John McCarter, 2028. I don't know if you're going to be old enough in 2028 yet, though, John. But yeah, whenever you're old enough, John, we're all voting for you. Just remember, you know, maybe, you know, take a break from this podcast and you can like brainstorm some ideas for when you become president, John. But yeah, John, it's all good. Don't be upset with the chatters.
Cassie and Jane Doe, as though nothing else was going on involving nobody else. The prosecution was the cover-up. And now they got him guilty on 2 of the lesser of the 5 charges. And when I was on with Megyn Kelly and I went into something of a 2-minute tirade, and I said, the prosecution is the cover-up. They're going to go after him. They're going to reduce its entire
thank you
trial.
for the $10, Hypnodia. I forgot that. Thank you.
The entire blackmail sex extortion ring to 2 individuals, one of whom he's on camera beating. And they're going to convict him on 2 of the lesser charges. He's going to be out from federal prison in however many years, and they're going to forget about the rest of it. And that is exactly what has happened. Diddy's going to be sitting in jail.
It's a good idea, MMAKO. We need to, we got to get John's permission, but we can start selling some merch for John. I love John McCarter and John McCarter 2028. Hell yeah, that sounds like a great shirt.
Until he gets sentenced, we'll see how many years.
We'll send half the proceeds to some autism charity too, right? We could do that.
In jail he gets. Remember, his defense, by the way, was, I'm not involved in RICO sex trafficking. I'm just a boyfriend who gets violent when I get jealous and inebriated, intoxicated, under the influence of drugs, which apparently he did a lot. And I said, well, first of all, he's dead to rights on the transportation for the purposes of prostitution by the letter of the law. Whether or not I think he was guilty of sex trafficking as per the evidence that was adduced, that is sort of bypassing the issue.
The evidence that was adduced. The fuck does that even mean? Do you think we know what that means, Viva? Maybe some of your followers are like savvy, they're watching all the legal content, but break it down for us idiots. Like, what does adduced mean?
Issue. They limited the scope of this prosecution to him allegedly sex trafficking only for himself. That was the cover-up. They got the conviction on 2 of the lesser charges. He's going to walk on the bigger charges. And just like as of now is happening with the Jeffrey Epstein case, the world is going to move on. We're going to be told nothing more to see here. Go on with your day. No blackmail, extortion, sex trafficking ring here. These perverts were trafficking children in Epstein's case only for himself. And P. Diddy was trafficking only for himself so that he could pleasure himself to these freak-offs. Nothing more to see here, people. That was the corruption from the get-go. I called it. Viva Fry. But if you're still watching this and you haven't hit that like, share, and subscribe button.
Oh, okay. You got it, Viva.
I don't know what I've got to do to get you to do that, but like, share, subscribe.
Yeah, you assholes.
Drop a comment in the comment section. It feeds the algorithm. You want to get some merch? You can go to vivafry.com.
I think this is it's better than Alex's breakdown of it.
Andrew Wilson super chatted $2. A juiced. Juice. OJ. OJ did it.
Is that? Yeah, that might be what it means. I think it has something to do with adjudicated, maybe. I don't know. I tried to find it out. Adjuiced. I couldn't even find it. Like, I'm probably spelling it wrong.
You want to buy my kid's book?
I'm probably spelling. I'll look it up again because I'm interested now. What the fuck is adjuiced? What is that? Let's see what else we had going on here. Diddy as the vote we can watch this as I look it up.
Welcome.
First of all, this should have been the first warning sign to everybody that something was wrong with this guy.
The club love hard.
Kind of a fat joker, though, isn't he?
He's pussy.
Yeah.
Pussy. Pussy. Yeah. You, nigga. Yeah, him. Just because I said so. Yeah.
It looked like they were about to get it. He was literally about to fight with somebody who didn't like his fucking Joker act.
You're a clown! What's up, baby? What you got, baby? What's up? You don't like me? You motherfucking get to it, nigga.
Oh yeah, he dropped the Joker act right there.
You don't like
It's adduced. Adduced. He's Canadian, very strange. Adduced. I'll search that spelling.
Motherfucking front, get to it, bitch. Don't fucking play with me on Halloween. I'm out here with love, nigga. You wanna have love? It's what up there, nigga. What's up? Fucking come over here and I'll bust your shit.
Nah, hey, keep it
Fucking
pimping.
pussy, make sure you don't never talk to me like that, nigga. I'm love, nigga.
Okay, adduce comes from the Latin adducere, which means to lead or bring along. If you were a lawyer, you might adduce or bring forth a witness. Okay, so that's bringing forth the evidence. Got it. Okay. That's what I figured.
I love the creed.
He's kind of fat to be the Joker. That's the only problem. Like his Joker is okay. I wonder if he thought maybe he'd get cast as a Joker or something if he did this and became a big enough meme. But yeah, look, you're a little too fat to be the Joker, bro. Joker's not supposed to be fat. He's supposed to be like a skinny nerd, right? Kind of like a skinny retard.
Oh, I don't think that you heard me.
I'm getting Liver King vibes from this dude.
You smell like Kim Kardashian.
The best part of his Joker act is the laugh. Like, he's got the laugh down pretty good, but that's about it.
So
yeah, he's too fat to be the Joker. Definitely too fat.
Night when you come at the Tyler the Creator. Let's go. When I speak to you, you'll speak back. Don't be rude. So tonight, it's going to be a special night.
Are they trying to make the makeup look like it's coming off? Yeah, because I think that is a Joker look where the makeup's coming off. I know Jack Nicholson, his makeup was always coming off in the first Batman.
Everybody's so serious, but we're about to go to Club Love.
Oh, that's a disturbing look, isn't it? That was disturbing.
Club Love.
And he's even painting his teeth yellow. You're going a little too far. You're going a little too far with this, dude. I think the yellow teeth is a little too far.
He's
definitely doing the Heath Ledger Joker.
Stay at home.
I mean, I would have been surprised if he wouldn't have gotten all this trouble. They might have cast him as the Joker. I mean, here's an opportunity. A black Joker? Yeah, they want to make everybody black. Every character black, so why not make the Joker black too?
You know the Joker don't play that, baby.
See, that was not Joker-like at all. That was, yeah, he ruined the whole character. At that point, I'd kick you out of the casting room because you would not be a good Joker. Anyway, so yeah, we all saw this coming, didn't we? This guy's he's nuts. Let's see what else we got here. Oh yeah, here's Megyn Kelly on Diddy. Wanted to play this one.
Here's
too.
one other bit of color for you. New York Times reporting, this won't surprise you.
Megyn Kelly's holding up pretty well, isn't she? How old is Megyn Kelly? She still looks damn good, dude. She's got to be in her 50s by now.
Combs'
How old is
body
Megyn
language
Kelly?
is totally different from yesterday when he seemed crestfallen and grim after the jury said it had reached a verdict on 4 of the 5 counts. Now, acquitted
54.
of the most serious charges, Mr.
She's
Combs
54.
appears energetic and relieved. Can we just talk about, here's the picture, here's the sketch.
Age is just a number, boys.
Artist's picture of Combs yesterday of the grimness, and I'm sure we'll get one today of him looking much more relieved. I'm so confused about, here's a little bit more, New York Times, with a touch of levity. The judge said he assumed Combs would not want
It still freaks me out how much she looks like Nicole Brown Simpson.
to return to the
She looks like they could have been twins, man.
Brooklyn jail where he has been held. Combs shook his head vigorously and put his hands together in prayer. Oh, it's all just so chummy inside the courtroom for this disgusting pervert female abuser who I can't believe is about to roam our streets again. I'm sorry, I'm disgusted by this verdict. This is fucking ridiculous. I just find it absolutely
Holy
outrageous.
shit.
The amount of crime.
It's so fucking hot when she cusses like that. Fuck yeah, Megan. Cuss at me more, Megan. I love it.
That this guy just got away with. I believe he committed arson. He definitely battered Cassie. He battered Jane too. The statute of limitations for battery in Los Angeles and California is 1 year. 1 year. So if they didn't charge him for battery within 1 year, and they couldn't because he bought the tape and it remained hidden thanks to those security guards out there, then they could never charge him with that again. There's no question. He dragged her back into that hotel room. Why wasn't that kidnapping? They only talked about the kidnapping of Capricorn Clark, who was his sort of main assistant, because she said he grabbed her and made her go with him over to Kid Cudi's house. There's no question he broke into Kid Cudi's house, in my view, and that he opened up the Christmas presents and locked the door in and made a threat. There's no question in my mind he was behind the arson of Kid Cudi's car, and there was...
This is the first I'm hearing of all this shit. I've heard of Kid Cudi, but I don't know much about him. I'm guessing he was one of Diddy's artists?
Proof, plenty of proof to prove that. No, okay, there was female fingerprints they found on that, the firebomb that was left there, the Molotov cocktail. And the prosecution said there's no question he didn't do it himself, but he said, I'm going to bomb Kid Cudi's car. It's in writing. Cassie Ventura emailed her mother saying... John,
don't say shit like that, John. You maybe should take a break from the show for a little bit, John. If the show's upsetting you that bad, you maybe should take a break, bro. I want you to watch this show and have fun. And if you're not having fun and it's causing you mental anguish, then yeah, you might need to step away from the show and go talk to somebody, maybe somebody who cares for you, and let them know you're upset. But if you're not having fun on the show, John, just take a little break from it for a little bit, okay?
Oh my God, he's threatening to bomb his car. And 2 weeks later, it got bombed. Oh, gee, it was just some third party who also had, it's just like the proof was there,
Yeah.
the beatings, the threats that if they didn't go back into those rooms and get off with these male escorts, that they were going to get beaten. The testimony from that Daniel Phillip, who was the male escort, who heard Combs abusing Cassie behind the door, and she was screaming, I'm sorry, as he heard him slapping her. Get back out there. She came back out. She was shaking. She got.
Guys, I would prefer if you stop addressing John in the chat. Just don't address him at all. If whatever's going on, I'm not even catching it. I've seen people like teasing him. Like, don't address him at all. If that's where we're at right here, where it's that level of reaction to what's going on, just leave John alone for a little bit, okay?
Back into the escort.
We love you, John. Take a break from the show if you're getting upset, okay?
Lap, physically shaking. She was so scared to the point where that guy couldn't perform sexually because this was so horrifying to him. What in the actual F went on in there?
So Megan, let me just for 1 second, Phil, because let me just get Megan more pissed off, if I may. So if the judge gives him a reasonable sentence, let's say he sends him to 5 years, okay, and he's already got time in. And
Look, if John's trolling, he's gone through the whole effort of setting up a Facebook page, and like I've seen his Facebook page. John's not trolling. If he is, he's going through a lot of effort to troll.
And with a halfway house, he's out in 3. How quick is he going to be accepted back into that Hollywood scene, blah, 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 blah? Or do you think people will still keep him at arm's length?
I mean, look, I will make it my personal mission to maintain his
you're coming
humiliation
from.
in the minds of all Americans. There's no question he's fallen as this revered figure for a large portion of America, but he also has diehard fans who want to pretend this is a Johnny Depp situation, you know, where he was wrongfully accused, that's my own view, by somebody who was out to get him, who played the victim when in fact she was abusive. This is not that situation. This is not. Cassandra Ventura was an extremely sympathetic witness who was not some powerful, I'm going to play Kid Cudi against Sean Combs. She was traumatized by this guy. She remains suicidal to this day, given all that was done to her. Listen to this. I'm like, I almost don't even want to read these updates. New York Times, Sean Combs is now on his knees, his elbows on the chair where he was sitting, his head buried. He appeared to be praying. He started a round of applause, which was echoed by his family, who are jubilant. Yay, yay. We only have an abuser and solicitor of prostitutes in the family, not a sex trafficker. Sean Combs' supporters and family are now clapping and whistling for his legal team, who are all embracing each other. They actually did get a victory, and that's different. I mean, they should be hugging. Go ahead, Phil.
The judge is allowing that kind of thing in the court.
Yeah, I'm surprised about that also.
Yeah, what's that about?
Or maybe the judge is all that. There's no place in the courtroom for this because look,
what did they do?
Regardless
they
of whether
celebrated
or
too
not
much?
you agree or disagree with the verdict, there's a certain dignity and decorum that's only that's appropriate for courtrooms. And in federal courts, judges are famous for enforcing it, oftentimes much more so than at the state level. But look, back to your whole thing.
Well, this
Megan,
is a Biden appointee, so who knows about the dignity required. Sorry, keep going.
Back to your dismay with the jury's verdict. Look, juries are always wild cards. You got.
Is this real? The courtroom sketch of Diddy's reaction after being found guilty of 2 of the 5 accounts at his trial. The 5 counts. Is this real? You know, people tend to get overwhelming. I mean, when people avoid going to jail for their whole life, they do tend to react in a very, very happy manner. I don't want to read too much. Let me see. Courtroom sketch of Diddy and his legal team's reaction to the verdict. Yeah, so they all celebrate it. I mean, is that the biggest problem? I mean, that's what we're complaining about?
12 people in there that come from different backgrounds, different walks of life. They have different political philosophies. They have different religious philosophies. They have their own biases, whether they say they can leave them outside the courtroom or not. They bring them in there and they analyze and they view things. And sometimes jurors are just stupid. Sometimes they're just dumb. Sometimes they're not capable of understanding the law or following the judge's instructions. So you factor all of that in there, and what you've got is a system where, guess what? After doing this almost 40 years, I have come to the conclusion that you cannot trust jurors to ever get it right, whether you're a prosecutor or whether you're a defense lawyer. Jurors and juries cannot be trusted to get it right. They get it wrong a lot. And that is what usually brings people to the bargaining table to come up with, plea deals like we have seen maybe in the Koberger case coming up today. But look, you just can't trust a jury ever to get to the right result. Sometimes they do, but a lot of times, unfortunately, they don't. And that cuts both ways for the prosecution and the defense.
I'm so confused on what the jury has done here. Like when you factor in the notes we got yesterday, Arthur, we get a note saying they reached a verdict on counts 2 through 5, but they couldn't agree on count 1, which was the racketeering conspiracy. Now we find out that at that time, we assume it didn't change, they thought he was guilty of the prostitution stuff, but they did not think that he was a sex trafficker who forced Cassie and Jane to perform sex acts under threat of coercion or...
Yeah, John, look, John, I enjoy you being a part of the show. You're a good dude, but I don't want you to suffer for the show. So if the show is causing you pain and causing you any kind of strife or stress, take a break. Take a break and do something that makes you happy, John. We love having you here, man. You're a VIP in here, John. But try not to let the show get you stressed out or the comments, all right?
Fraud. And yet they were about to be a hung jury on the RICO count. Now, I don't get it. And then today, I guess the holdouts who said, I think he's guilty of RICO, this morning turned around and said, all right, he's not. He's not. Because they acquitted him of that. I don't get it, because how was there a juror who said he didn't sex traffic, but he might be guilty of RICO? I guess somebody was looking at the RICO statute saying maybe he did do the arson, maybe he did do the drug selling.
Right. The other predicate, right. There were other predicate acts that it didn't have to be the ones he was charged with. There were ones outside of the charged crimes that they could have said those were predicate acts and therefore he's guilty of the racketeering. Look, I'm happy he didn't, look, I'm with you about who Sean Combs is as a person, but as someone who works in the system, this RICO law has really been abused as of late. And because from what its original intent was to what they're using it for now.
Andrew Wilson
so
super chatted $5. I've been subpoenaed before, work related. The jury is usually borderline tarded. So this doesn't really surprise me.
Yeah, I mean, if you're smart, you wouldn't show up to jury duty in the first place. You'd be like, no, I'm not going to just don't show up. And then, they're not going to fucking press charges on you. I've never showed up. Allegedly, I've gotten a lot of jury summons in my lifetime. I've not showed up to a single fucking one. It's always because I was working out of town at the time and didn't even get my mail. So, which is true. Every time I've gotten a jury summons, I'm on a contract out of town. This is, 10, 20 years ago. And I don't even know about it until I'm back in town. It's already too late. So, I guess we do need jurors, so show up to the jury summons. But I think smart people are smart enough to find a way to not do it. Or be like my cousin and just be like, I'm a racist. Do you have anything? Yeah, I'm a racist. I hate all people of other color. Okay, well, we're going to dismiss you.
Or maybe
there's ways out.
They were confused on, even if he did do some of the other.
No, but I legitimately was out of town when I got it. I got it when I finally checked my mail when I got back in town. I remember one specifically. I don't think I've gotten more than one jury summons, but I know my cousin ended up on a jury for a year. And it's like, dude, now you got a second fucking job? Fuck that.
Predicate acts is his business, which is music and recording and taking care of all the...
They just act crazy whenever they interview you. Just act crazy. Say the shit that will get you disqualified right away. Smart. That's what smart people do.
Artists and clothing and alcohol and all of this stuff. Is that really a criminal enterprise, or is it a legitimate enterprise that Mr. Combs individually did some criminality with? So it probably got a little confusing, a little mixed up. I'm happy. Maybe this will have a chilling effect on prosecutors across the country to just be throwing these RICO counts around where they are not really deserved.
There you go, John. That's the spirit. You know, John, I know, you know, life's probably tough for you. Here's the thing, like, I want you guys to understand, like, I don't know if you've known anybody in your life who has the issues that John has, but they don't have, I don't know, John, maybe you're very social, but a lot of people like that, this is where they're getting their only social interaction. So, and if you can make the difference for somebody like that and make them feel like they're a part of a community and have some social interaction, that's a big deal for somebody like that. Now, a lot of you think it's all a troll, it's all that or whatever. It's, I would bet a lot of money it's not, but you know, people do crazy things. But yeah, John, just enjoy the show. And if there's a point where you're not enjoying it, don't worry. You can stop watching. I'm not going to get mad. Take a break, go get something to eat, you know, go spend time with family or whatever, and then come back when you're feeling better.
But Megan, it also
We all love you, John.
You never know what happens.
Thank you for being a big fan.
When a
very much appreciate
jury
it.
goes out overnight and they go home and they go to sleep and they think about it. And let's face it, the Sean Combs stuff is popping up all over everyone's phone, in the back of a cab. So who knows what they heard? Who knows what they absorbed and what changed? But something changed really quickly, right? It's not like they were in there and it's 3:00 this afternoon. I mean, they came in, they must have taken a vote, and it was over.
No, and they were not sequestered, so they had access to their friends and family, and who knows how that went and whose input, if any, they took during that time frame. Want to say this? This just happened inside the courtroom. The court, the Times reporting, the court is adjourning for a few hours while the judge considers the arguments from Mr. Combs' lawyers and prosecutors about whether he should be released. Inner City Press, which is an organization that's been reporting on this from the beginning, says, yes, okay, that proposal, wait a couple hours, give me a couple hours, that makes sense. Mr. Combs does not want to go back to the detention center. He is shaking his head. So something about at 1 p.m. we'll convene, and I'll let the parties know. So I'm not sure exactly whether he gives the decision at 1 or they're just going to reconvene.
That's a lot to ask, PB420. That's a lot to ask. People on the internet are always going to be, you know, it's a wild card. You know, that's why it's like, I almost don't know if John should be engaging with the chat. You know, like that's the other thing, John, whoever takes care of you, I just want to make sure they're aware of what you're doing, John, because, you know, the internet is a wild place and it's not for everybody.
Convenient.
Thank you, MAKO.
Mako super chatted $1.99. Any more interviews coming? Jones, McCusker.
Nothing set up. Oops, sorry. Nothing set up yet. It gets annoying reaching out to people. You know, I've been reaching out to a lot of people, and there's a trend that tends to happen with people is they tell me yes, and then when I try to actually lock down a day, it's like pulling teeth. It's like a full-time fucking job dealing with people. It's like, oh yeah, I'll come on. Oh, yeah. Then it's like, okay, what day? And then they'll stop responding, and it's like, it's a certain point where it's like, dude. Yes, there will be more interviews, but having to be the one having to fucking coordinate and reach out to people all the time, it gets very frustrating because not everybody has the manners to not ghost you all of a sudden, you know, and that's a little annoying. And I get it. Everybody's so famous. They can't they don't see their messages. It's like, okay. Yeah. So yeah, you know, when that happens, I just kind of stop trying because there was like 3 guys from InfoWars that all told me yes and did the exact same fucking thing, which is a little fucking annoying. And then I'm following up, and no response. And I'm like, okay, this makes me not even want to fucking interview anybody. I can do the show by myself. I don't need to interview anybody. Yeah, and then I did the McCusker interview, and it's like got no views. And I'm like, oh, dude, I wasted Matt's fucking time. You know, it was like, oof, I thought that would get some fucking views. And it's like, it feels bad bringing people on who are like legitimately famous and then still getting no views. Like, that makes people not want to come on the show. So there will be more interviews. It's just hard to always set things up.
Right now is a very young, inexperienced judge is now going in the Southern District.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll have Davey back on sometime. I'm a little mad at Davey right now, though.
New York, where there are literally judges there appointed I think going back to George
I think me and Davey are gonna have a feud. We're gonna have to go to war.
H.W. Bush,
I'm
there's
just
definitely
kidding.
a bunch of Clinton employees.
We'll have
Many
Davey
people
back
have been
on,
on
of
the
course.
bench for 35, 40 years.
I was too, MKO. The McCusker one was great. I don't know if it was because of the failed live stream, and then when the actual podcast came out, the algorithm just didn't share it, or it just didn't go out, dude. It's as simple as that. It's like you're still limited by the algorithms and how many people they put it in front of. So it's just fucking weird to have somebody like McCusker who has this huge audience, and the algorithm never even fucking tested against that audience. It's like you would think, oh, okay, here's Matt McCusker from this giant podcast with Shane Gillis with this huge fan base, and then you never put that podcast anywhere in front of that fan base. That's because my channel's, honestly, I am tempted to kind of delete all my supercuts. Because I think that's what's got my channel throttled. After all the testing I've done and listening to fucking, who's the guy? God damn it, he does documentaries now.
Poker super chatted $4.99. I make well over 6 figures, have a beautiful wife and daughter, all in my 20s. I still look for community.
Well, congratulations, man. It sounds like you got it going. But yeah, it's hard for people to make friends these days. Everybody's online. Nobody's talking to each other in person. I get that. But it's even harder when you're, someone with autism, like high level autism, it's hard to make connections with people, which, it could be the difference between happiness and no happiness for a lot of people. But yeah, I get where you're coming from, Poker. Anyway, I forgot what I was talking about before then.
And he's
I'll remember at some point.
Mentors.
Oh yeah, there's Emp Lemon. He did this video where he talked about, because he did a lot of memes, YouTube poop back in the day. And then when he tried to make other content, like it was just a disaster. And then one day, I think he talked to YouTube, and YouTube basically told him, yeah, it's the old YouTube poops or whatever. He deleted all the old YouTube poops, and then all of a sudden his new content was successful. Like, that might be what I end up having to fucking do, because it seems like I cannot have success on this channel and have the super, because again, the supercuts are why they're throttling and shadow banning the channel. It's not the live streams. It's the fucking supercuts. Anyway, I'm just ranting. I'm not going to do any of that. But I think about it sometimes. Like, I wonder what would happen if I just deleted all my supercuts. Or I put that on a different channel. I wonder what would happen. Okay, well, you got it, Jim. You got it, Blake.
Williams super chatted $2. I just want to hear Joe Rogan's bear impression.
Well, that's his impression of an 800-pound gorilla. It's very similar to his bear impression. But that's his 800-pound gorilla bursting through the trees. Yeah, you remember? That's one of my oldest videos and one of my most popular ones.
And he's going to their chambers or picking their
Thank you
brains
for the
somehow or
$2.
another and say, what do you think I should do not to embarrass myself? Because it always comes down to covering your own butt with these judges, in my opinion. And then that's how he's going to make it. He's not looking up any case law. There's no case law on this. It's his discretion. You know what the case law is? It's totally in his discretion. So he's going to go to Judge Lewis Kaplan, who was the one who tried.
Zenpai super chatted $1.31. Snort some fent, bro, it'll make you relax.
The Trump case.
That's probably the worst advice I've had in my life, Senpai. But, you're trying. You're trying. I'm relaxed, bro. I'm already kind of a high-strung, hyperactive guy. So it's annoying because if I get passionate about anything I'm saying, it's always people overreact to it. Thank you, Mikhail.
Mako super chatted $1.99. Gorilla emoji.
Yeah. Have you been paying attention to the literature? Yeah, I'm relaxed. I'm a very happy guy. I am. Trust me, I am.
He's going to go look at all these famous.
Trust me, I'm so happy.
The Menendez case, Judge Stein.
But yeah, I mean, I'll get loud and I'll get sometimes passionate about what I'm saying, and that'll come across as like I'm angry and fucking, but I'm really not.
Those are both Clinton appointees. They've been around for decades, and he'll say, "What do you think? What do you think? What do you think?" And then he'll do whatever he thinks is in his best interest.
Okay, well, here comes the ads, I guess. Joe, you gotta do Jesus, Joe. Settle
Blake
down.
Williams super chatted $2. Gorilla impression. Exactly,
gorilla impression. Yeah, that was him talking about what would happen if. That video was demonetized too. It's funny because that one, I never got paid for that one because I wasn't monetized when it really blew up. And then when I finally did get monetized, they limited the ads. I guess it's because of the molestation part at the end. I don't know, but that's frustrating. It's always frustrating when like all of your most popular shit is the shit that they demonetize, like without fail every time. The most popular shit demonetized, no chance. It's weird how that works. Anyway, love you guys. I gotta piss really bad, so we're gonna just end it here, so I can go piss, and we'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully, there'll be some cool shit to talk about tomorrow. I might have to just start doing streams if there's like nothing crazy going on. I'm just gonna maybe just come on and chat with you guys. What do you guys think about that? Because that's the problem with doing these every day. Is there's some days where it's like there's just nothing interesting to fucking talk about. Like even today. Like the Liver King stuff was a little interesting, but it's like there's nothing really that great to talk about. Thank you, Dante's Guide.
Dante's Guide super chatted $2. Smiley face emoji.
You guys,
rolling on the floor laughing emoji.
You guys just like Joe yelling at me, right? And me being like, it does catch me off guard when I'm talking and I'm like, and all of a sudden, I'm like, holy shit, you know? But that's what makes it fun. And thank you guys. Thank you for all the support. I appreciate it today. If you want to become a member, you know, all that shit's in the description too. So appreciate you guys very much. Again, you guys are keeping me making content. Like I would not be making any content right now if it wasn't for this live stream and your guys' support. I'd be looking for a job right now.
99 cents.
Piss. I know I've had to piss for a while now, but I'm good. I'm holding it in. All right, thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Poker, for the 20. It's very generous. Thank you, guys.
Andrew Wilson super chatted $2. One more gorilla impression before you go.
I was thinking about changing it to like, because I want to make it like little funny clips from my all my supercuts. That will be. I don't think I can change that now. I think it's forever just got to be Joe doing his gorilla voice. I think you guys like that way too much, so we'll just keep it there. Yeah, don't give up, John. Keep going, brother. Yeah. Remember, John, I know it's not easy, dude, because you probably have a hard time understanding when people are just making jokes and they're not serious. But you got to remember, John, most of the time people are saying things that you're probably getting upset about. It's not serious. They're making jokes, like they're trying to be funny, and it's a way of them trying to actually be friendly to you, John. So, you know, maybe over time you can get better at that, you know? Anyway, thank you, John. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. Love you guys. Thank you again for all the support. And have a wonderful night.